All right, and I am live. Good evening, everybody, from the lovely Marin County town of Point Reyes Station, the Queen City of the San Andreas Fault. And yes, as I sit here tonight, little more than about 6 miles from the very epicenter of the great 1906 earthquake that leveled San Francisco, proportionally destroyed my town of Santa Rosa, much more. Hey D, how you doing? Good to see you. Bully, how are you? Matt and Eric, nice to see your gym workouts. I like to see you boys. I like to see you boys sweat. Oh shoot, I'm sorry the Red Sox not win. Well, neither do the Orioles. So it's good to see D in here. And I'm going to talk a bit tonight about some of my thoughts on the streaming house. And I think I give them. You don't need a defensive wrench, D. I don't. I got the best wrenches in the business here. I don't give out a lot of wrenches, but my wrenches are fair. My wrenches aren't here to protect me from criticism or anything there. Hey Bean, how you doing? They're here to just make sure the side chat runs smoothly. I'm thinking of all my wrenches. Hey Silver, how are you? It was a kind of traumatic, um, even more so when you compress events and you visit something for the first time. And yesterday I happened to be a good away for a good part of the day. I did stop in and I did pop in on no you you're good. I did pop in on D stream. I had to run over to Sacramento, uh, and I wasn't around town for a bit, but I did wake up this morning. Holly, I have to say, Holly, you are one cute enchilada, babe. I just have to say that. You're one cute enchilada. How you doing, Jen? I think the world of my moderators. I've got Jen in here who does a remarkable job. I've got Kim C. I know Gina C is floating around there somewhere, and I've not seen her. Hey, Sean, she did communicate. Bully, how you doing? She did communicate with me. Hi, Vicky, how you doing, sweetie? That she was surprised that she got her wrench lifted. I did write back to her and tell her I thought that you had flown the coop, honey. But anytime you want to come back and reclaim your wrench, it would be on my honor. Kathy Rebuild, very honored to see you on here tonight. And Dolly and Holly, Monique, how you doing, sweetie? Hey, Jinxie. Gina C, if people disappear, I had one classy redhead who initially wanted to be a mod on my channel. I've not seen her for 2 months. Gina C's recovering from a terrible episode of multiple sclerosis that had her drop to the ground. She broke bone. She's been hospitalized, had to learn how to write again. You lost the function of her arm. She has really been through hell and back. Hey, Uber, how are you? I'm not here. Let me just say I want to thank. My day was great. If you saw, it's typical Rosie. When it comes to a free feed, baby, I land in the right town at the right time, baby. And this is National Night Out in America. And it took me a while to get, prayers for Gina. It took me a while to get the free food, man. Hey, let me tell you what, bully. Shoot. I walked down that street. I had no idea what I was walking into. It's Tuesday night, which seems a random night to set out a good feed. Hey, Andromeda, how are you? I couldn't even believe it. I walked down there. This is Point Reyes Station. People here have money. I mean, they really got money, right? This is the town that's frozen in time from the 1960s. And this is about as blue gets in the state of California right here. I don't think there's probably one person in town that voted for Trump in the last election, but they never met a tax that they didn't like, and they love taxing you more and more as time goes by. And I walk down that street, and in typical Marin County, which is one of the richest counties in the United States, top 10, They had raw oysters on the half shell. They had barbecued oysters. They had a wheel of blue cheese that was unbelievable. Harlesburg cheese. I mean, man, but you could not find a Coke here. Yeah, it was good. There's no McDonald's here. There's no franchises of any kind in this town. They were serving chocolate milk, Gatorade, or water was on the chocolate milk, white milk, 2%, of course, both of them, and then Gatorade and water. Don't ever talk about McDonald's, or you could get ridden out of town on a rail. I don't know what happened to. I finished eating and I was walking up the street, and all of a sudden the sheriffs, the National Park Police were here, and they were chasing somebody down. And I hope it wasn't Billy Boy. I saw, if you remember down here, yeah, I know, Monique, some Rosie and D Chooch. And I remember last time I was down here, if you remember Billy Boy, the local, he does have a home, but we were hanging out, and I think that they busted him tonight for something going down the street. So I was lucky. I had a hot dog, a hamburger, and 2 rounds of, I probably had 8 oysters on the half shell that were raw, and 1 cooked oyster. And I was just like, so happy when I walked it up to the table, and I said, whoa, that looks so good. And the guy's like, help yourself. I couldn't wait to get the camera off to get the feedback on. Hey, Ginger. So I haven't spent a damn dime today, and it's not lied. I got a cup of coffee here, and I got a ice cream cone, soft serve ice cream the local dairy made here, and it is so much head and shoulders above the rest. Talk about a skunk, man. I was coming down. How you doing, Mallory? I was coming down the did a little walk before I came up. I have a chooch I'm going to upload. An old-fashioned chooch, which I used to do walking and videoing, and some skunk about the size of a VW bug just walked across the street in front of me. This skunk was proud. This skunk did not have a care in the world when it walked across the street. How you doing, Cajun Kev? Yeah, so I remember the skunk thingy. Man, I'm telling you, Cobra John, this skunk could have cared less about anything. It just moseyed across the street. This guy was like king of the street here. How you doing, McFly? It was a real skunk. I'm sure they're wandering around. There's a little vegetable garden around here. I wanted, I wasn't involved with the streaming house. I would have liked to have been a part of a streaming house, and I did a video yesterday giving a lot of kudos for trying to do a streaming house. And I thought initially it was a good mix of people, and then I did not see events live last night. Evidently they happened about 2 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast, but I did take about 3 hours today. People had sent me various clips, some stuff that had been privated, some stuff that had been unlisted, and I did look at things a lot. On the streaming house. And one of the thoughts that came to my mind, because Juice kind of triggered it last night, was this streaming house a victim of sabotage, or was it just an unfortunate series of events? Chris, I'm down in Point Reyes Station down here. D, I'm just going to ask you tonight to just let's just keep my stream on the up. I know I know currently there's some bad blood between you and Mallory. I'm just going to request, just as my friend tonight, that we keep things on the up. I'm not here to fry anybody. D, you and I, how you doing, Steve? You and I have a history together. I've spent significant time with Randy. I've spent a lot of time with Vegas Vixen for years, going back to 2000 and 2015. I know these people well. Dee has spent a long time with them too. And I want to talk about Dee a little bit, because I've spent a lot of time with Dee too at 2 points that we met up, and I guess we've spent almost 2 weeks together. in that time. Mallory, I don't really know well. Mallory and I have had our history up and down, and I'll get to Mallory in a little bit because Mallory's always marched to the beat of her own drum. It's a drum beat that beats out of sync with people sometimes, but it's a drum beat that she has consistently stood by over the years. But I want to start with Dee, and I want to point out some of the things that I have come to know about Dee. And I'm not delving into family history. I was very honored, extremely honored to be able, how you doing, Andrew? I was extremely honored to be able to spend time with his family, his folks at his home there, and boondocking on his property. And we had a lot of long talks. We talked about things about the future. We talked about things about the past. We shared family history, myself personally, and his family of living transgender and being around transgender. So this is a guy, in my opinion, that has exhibited a tremendous amount of personal courage in living his life, and that's shown through the esteem he has for Diane, and the regard, the respect they have in the relationship was an all. Hey, Captain Napton, was an almost unbelievably solid relationship. Why? Because he didn't see Diane as a transgender parent. He saw Diane as somebody that had his back consistently growing up and was his number one fan and number one supporter, be it male or female. She was always there. So when I was invited to his property, I was honored to meet her. I was honored to hang out with them. We picked up something to eat, and we had a great time. And it was my intention to get back there faster than I did, but we went our separate ways. But in a lot of our talks, I got to know Dee on a very, very, very personal level. Okay. And I want to tell, it's an issue where he's the kind of person in life that he can really admit, as we all should, that we have our shortcomings in life. And one of the things that he had mentioned to me was, I've dealt with anger issues in the past, and I commended him for, I don't know whether he found it through religion or meditation or whatever, but he would tell me consistently, Rosie, I'm not the person that I used to be. And I gave him all kinds of kudos. Yeah, we're both happy-go-lucky people. I gave him all kinds of kudos for, number one, acknowledging where he came from, and number two, being where he is today in life as a survivor. And I can't fault somebody for wanting to pursue their dream. And he tells you point blank, and he looks you in the face and says, you know what? I want to travel the country, and I want to see the world. And somehow or another, I'm going to make that happen. This is also a person that has been pilloried, and just excoriated occasionally on chats because of children and other issues, his children and other things. You guys will never know the story of that. Why? Because it's a private matter. But I can tell you this. I was in, where the heck was I? I was at, trying to think of exactly where I was. And I was at his home up in Michigan. And he just was all excited because he got monetized. And I'm sorry, I'm not really reading the side chat right now. He got monetized, and I was thrilled for him. Absolutely thrilled for him, and he was excited that I was up there in June, and I'm like, oh, Dee, you'll get your first check, and all that. Well, he got a notification from YouTube. Sorry, your check doesn't come in the first month, it comes in the next month. And he had planned he had planned to go up and spend time with his kids that particular weekend, which subsequently he did, but I'm just saying that particular weekend. And he got off the phone with them, and I walked into his house, and this guy, and I'm just going to say it, this guy was literally in literally in tears, because he had gotten off the phone with his daughter and had to break the news to her that he didn't have the funds immediately to come up and visit her. And what do you say at a moment like that? It's a terrible, terrible thing. But you knew, you knew at that moment in time that he had a outstanding relationship, and he had a lot of heart, and he had a lot of love for his kids. I saw it on his face in spades. So I want to put that out. I really want to put that out there on his behalf. Okay. So the times we've spent together, he's been in. The reason I think that we have such good chemistry is that we're kind of cut from the same cloth. We're easygoing people by nature, and I have the advantage of some age and things, and just kind of having the rough edges knocked off, rough edges knocked off of me. And I'm a little more smooth, I think, in life and things. I have a very long, very, very long fuse, and the times we spent together were epically good times. When you put people in a streaming house, one of the features of a streaming house, which a lot of you don't know, but I've researched, I've lived IRL streaming longer than anybody on the board here, and I know through history that when you put people together in a streaming house situation, people that have YouTube channels, you're going to naturally have a competitive element to what happens. Whether you like it or not, the undercurrent of it is you're competitive. Okay? I mean, you have YouTube channels, both Mallory Williams and Dee have had channels that have grown rapidly. When I first met, yeah, I'm just boondocking for a little change of pace and point raised, Chris. When I first met Dee, he was straight up honest with me. He wanted to meet me, and he said, Rosie, I want to hang with you. You can help me grow my channel. And I said, man, that's awesome. He was straight up honest with me, and he said, we can hang out. I would like to meet you. And, I admired his honesty for saying, if we hang out, it'll help me grow the channel. Hey, Kaylee. And I appreciated that. I appreciated his tremendous honesty in that. By the same virtue, I have to say, hey, Glenda, when Mallory Williams made her comeback, and she also said, I'm going to make no bones about it. I'm going to, Elvis and Rosie, or the roads to YouTube, which it's not, for whatever that means. But she said, hey, I want to build a YouTube channel. I want to have success. I want to strut my stuff on YouTube. Both of these people were very straightforward with their approach on YouTube. I will say Mallory and I have had our we've had our ups and downs over the years, but I tend to be a person that accepts people, much to many people's chagrin. People like Elvis. I mean, I have a wide range of, if you want to be WWE, you be WWE. You want to yell at people and scream at people on the channel. Hey, it's YouTube. I get it. I don't lose sleep about it at night. When Mallory, when you see her, she's a larger than life figure, in this sense that she's going to be out there. She's going to be very forward with her opinion. She's going to be very straightforward with just putting it out there. She's not going to sugarcoat crap like I might. She's not going to give you a dose of sugar with the medicine. She's just going to tell you straight up the way that she thinks on there. But these are two people that are interested in growing their channels, and you hit a situation where you have a streaming house. Number one, it's going to get a lot of attention. I'm going to unmod Nightbot because I'm not on that remove moderator. I don't need this punk running around. I don't need this. Yeah, I don't need this punk running around on my channel doing that crap again. Okay, I'm just turning that thing off for the minute. So, well, I'm going to get to that. You get to a competitive situation like going into a streaming house, and it's what's it gonna revolve around? It's gonna revolve around who's getting views. Now, Vegas Vixen and Randy, they don't really care. They don't really care. Vegas Vixen's about having a good time, making sure that people get along. Randy's mellow. He's the designated eater. He's just in the background. That's the way Randy is. He doesn't give a flying fuck about YouTube, about who's doing what. You know, I got 6 million subscribers. He'd be like, "Yeah, could you hand me a Mountain Dew out of the out of the refrigerator?" That's the way that Randy rolls, and Vegas Vixen. You know, and I thought Vegas Vixen was so cute when people were hitting the super chat. She's like, "Why doesn't anybody hit my super chat?" But she was joking around. But in this competitive situation in here, you have people that are building channels, but you have two remarkably different personalities in there. Mallory Williams will be in your face and just classify you're either a lover or a hater. I don't think Mallory ever recognizes any gray area where people, you know, you have maybe 10% of the people really love you, 10% of the people really hate you, and the rest of that 80% is kind of floating around in the middle there. And I don't think it's so cut and dry that I think people can be influenced to turn against you, as people have, you know, when I went on my trip with Elvis, or they can be convinced to turn for you if you do some type of deed, or they get word that you're doing something. They get glimpses of who you are. And I will say, in this situation, when you look at Mallory in a streaming house, and you look at Dee in a streaming house, Dee is a much more type of engaging personality, whereas Mallory, she doesn't try to win you over. She just, you know, you're into the dumper, okay? She's not gonna try to put you back in the retooling factory and make you like her. You know, you're just basically into the can. And that's the way it is. And I have to be honest with you, that approach on YouTube, it may perfectly jibe with the person that Mallory is, but it's not, you know, it's not concurrent with the way I think most people feel when they come to YouTube. Most people, when they come to YouTube, I think that they want to feel like they're having a good, engaging experience. They want the host or hostess to have some humility. They want the host or hostess to be acknowledging, and they want to be made to feel like they matter. And that's, I think, something that Dee does really well. But what really threw a wrench into this thing was in the and I was shown the clip over the hour and a half of when somebody, I don't know who it was, but this is why I think of things like potential sabotage and potential throwing a match into a potentially volatile situation. When somebody obviously bought computerized views to come in, and you know, Dee was sitting there, and Dee's not one to jump up and down on the countertop. He's not one to who and ha, but obviously he was enjoying the fact that, you know, his chat was blowing up and people were coming into the chat, and you could sort of sense on the part of Mallory that was kind of irritating. when she made comments about that we share the views and things like that. I mean, most of us that observed or saw the replay, that happened to me back in 2015 when I had a Chan 4 raid on my channel. Although over that time, people were putting Nazi things and using the N word and all that. When you get when you get a true raid versus, hey, Tara, versus like a computer raid when you still have the same number of people chatting, but there's just the views are going up. You're not getting a simultaneous engagement, but nonetheless, D was happy for that. It was like a moment of joy for him. But I think that was the original. I think that was, in my opinion, I think that was done on purpose to be an irritant. Now, why do I say that? Because these streamers were all streaming in very close proximity to each other, meaning that D was in the kitchen, which has an open, I guess, pass through to the dining room. And Mallory sitting in the dining room, and Vegas Vixen's, floating in the living room or something like that. So whoever bought those views knew that there would be overlap between the streamers there. And I think the idea was to buy those views to make an irritating situation. And I think that's the original souring element that came into that. I think that's the original souring element that came into that place. How you doing, Crystal Jones? Nice to see you. Hey, Tasha, I really think that was the original. That was the first blood that came in, and I think that just from that point on, I really think that pretty much darkened like the undertone. But much to their credit, they both, they both went on and they both continued streaming until such time as D's. You see Mallory's 2 hour and 22-minute stream, and you can see that, there was a wave of donations that came in for D, and I think that provided another source of irritation that came in, because he's like I am. When you get a super chat or you get a tip, you're always, oh, thank you very much, and you're very excited, and we tend to be over the top with our thanks when those things come in. And I feel like you can't be another streamer and honestly sit there and just take that in and not feel like, wow, and to sit there when somebody else's chat's blowing up and he's got 3,000 views and you're sitting there with 50 or 60 views, which is great. I'm not commenting on the views. I'm just saying, you can imagine two people sitting side by side in this situation. How you doing, Juice? Nice to see you. So then Juice made the remark that he was unsubbing from D's channel, and I know there's some people that don't like the Juice, but D and I happen to be two people that, I don't know, Juice is kind of one of those he's one of those backbone people that I, like D, think his opinion matters a lot on stuff. He observes a lot of stuff. He's been around on YouTube long before I showed up. And I think that really, really hurt D when Juice said he was unsubbing, because he thought that there was some kind of some type of collusion in giving donations and things like that, and maybe things were just being skewed to be irritating, whatever happened. It was irritating, and you could tell with Mallory. She was making comments, well, if you don't, if everybody's your friend and nobody's really your friend, you have to be very, I think the comment that she wrote down, that I wrote down here just to make a little note of it. I'm being very fair with my observation. Was that what was it said? Well, she would say things like at early on. She said, when Awesome Hooker made a donation at the 12 minute and 50-second mark of her 2.2K stream called called Beach House Live. She said like something, why don't you just, donate it all at once? Why go for the gold? Why do you dribble it out a little bit at a time? Well, it's not the nature of people to, they don't give you big blocks and things. And those kind of things, and that it really that was done multiple times. There were two donations, and then they had to fight about how many times Dee had donated to Mallory $1.99. He said twice, she said once, and that kind of set off that I think that was the Juice unsubbing, saying, look, I'm gonna unsub. I think this is all like a BS plot. And then when he'd mentioned that he had donated twice to Mallory, and she acknowledged one of the donations, and he said, well, I didn't even have any money at that time. And I think that kind of I really think that darkened the mood. And at 16:50, Mallory said, when he said that he was hurt, she went on to say, well, you teamed up with the dark side on there. And I just think, I can't tell you the vesting that Dee has in somebody like Juice, that has been on his side consistently, as Juice has been on my side. And people say, why do you stick with the Juice? And I mean, sometimes the Juice says some crazy ass stuff, but the Juice recognizes, I think, people that are working hard and bringing quality and things like that. And he really liked it. How you doing, Smooth? He really liked it when Dee started bringing content and chooching and stuff like that. So it's like Juice is going to be outspoken about stuff too, but Juice is one of those markers on the channel. It's like, maybe he has a good sniffer for bullshit, and he just sensed that something was going on there. And again, I'm not making a judgment about whether it was, but given the volatile nature of the personalities, and I dare say ego, particularly in the part of Mallory, which she has no fear of expressing, that I am the show, and things like that. Those things can be and were, I think, very triggering. That so they teamed up with the dark side. And at 1950, she said, your divisive people come onto the stream, they divide and conquer, $2 at a time, $5 at a time, $2 at a time. So I think that she saw, and this is where I'm not going to make a judgment about things. But I think when you're sitting next to somebody and they're continuously, oh, thank you, hey, Monique, thank you for the tip, and you're hearing that, you want to be affirmed too. You really want to be affirmed in your stream, and evidently she was. I don't know. I'm just saying the super chats were all coming over to D's. I think Goldie had given one, and some other JGS or something had given one in there. But I think it's the approach of basically having streaming houses and putting IRL streaming houses together. They're specifically, hey Greg, they're specifically designed to bring people together, to have, in most cases, friction. Then when you introduce alcohol into it, then you take it up to another level. Now, when after the stream went blank for a while, for quite a period of time, and it came live again, And evidently, Dee was very upset. I cannot state how it struck me as just a independent watcher how upset Dee was at the events that went down with Jews and with Cooper, because in Dee's mind, I mean, he's like me. We want to try to get along with people as much as possible. We don't want to have friction. We're just here to have fun on the channel. And I think he went inside and he did a little more drinking. I don't recall Mallory saying anything at that time. As a matter of fact, even up to the 38-minute mark, they were discussing next year going to the Bellagio and meeting up again. Do you remember that? Do you remember that they were still talking about at 38:20 in there? You know, and then at 43:40, you had that long stretch of dead air, that very long stretch of dead air. And then at an hour and 57 mark, Mallory outside began to get wind that Dee was bashing away on his stream and fumbling with knives and things like that. And I think that she made a colossal mistake at that point. I think that she made a colossal mistake. And I'm going to be honest about this. When she said, do you think that I should, when she was talking to Vegas Vixen and, you know, Rory came out and said, oh, you know, it's getting pretty wild on Dee in the kitchen and he's in there with Randy now. And Mallory said, do you think I should go in there and smack him upside his head? Well, bam, that was the match. That was the match. That was a colossal mistake. That was a tremendous mistake, because at that point in time, them being separated was a good thing. But on the other hand, I can see Mallory being like, okay, you know, I'm sitting out here on the front lanai. We're separated. He's still talking about me, and we shouldn't be talking about this particular thing. But that was the trigger point that really went on. Yeah, there was some disrespect. I think if I'm being hosted, Randy and Vegas Vixen are hosting me in the beach house, and it was a beautiful beach house, 2.2 million. It was a very nice beach house. Beachfront property is expensive. Beachfront property. Yeah, I'd kind of wish that Dee had gone inside and just, you know, they had separated. But evidently he sat down on his stream, and just the more he sat, the more he started to fume. The more he started to say, until it finally leaked out to the lanai where Mallory was sitting. And I think that she said it in just an offhand manner. Well, what should I do? Go up and smack him in his head? And then that's where he came out on the porch, and I think he just kind of reached his breaking point. He was upset about Jews. He was upset about I don't think he felt like he got the understanding that he just wanted to be able to get along with people. I think he's a people person too, and as a result of that, I think that I think he felt very frustrated. I think for Mallory's part, I have to give Mallory credit. I've known Mallory for quite a few years. She's not everybody's cup of tea. I work hard to get along with Mallory. I work hard to understand Mallory. She's as much as stated that she's had anxiety issues before that she dealt with. And I gave, you know, I wanted to meet Mallory, and I reached out to her when Missy Jenn and I went cross country, and I don't think our relationship was particularly great at that time. I think Missy Jenn had struck her channel for something that she had put up about the Missy Jenn. They got that all straightened out. Jen reversed the strike. But when I was coming through Florida, I really did genuinely want to meet. I reached out to Mallory Williams, and she was pretty delighted that I wanted to take her to lunch. She deferred. She had some things going on with family at that time. But I genuinely did want to meet her. And for her to come to the streaming house now, given the events of, when Coop said, I'll meet you, D, but I want to only if Mallory's there because I want a floor or something like that. I mean, I'm not going to get into that stuff. I mean, Coop, he apologized to that, but she still came down to the streaming house. And let's really be honest. This was the first time that she had really come out in public beyond her set piece presentations, either at the at Lake Okeechobee or wherever she usually sits, or sitting in her home and doing streams. So I gave her a tremendous amount of credit for coming out, showing herself, and being proud of who she was, and showing up at the streaming house. On the downside, I think that you could tell it kind of rankled her a little bit, and I mean she's quite honest about it. She's in it for the views, she's in it for the subs, she's in it to grow her channels. That's an honest statement that she makes, and I could tell it kind of rankled her when uh, when D's chat started blowing up, and he's like, "Oh, I got 1,300 people on my chat." And she's like, "Well, we all really have to. How you doing, Vegas Vixen? We all really have to share the views here. Uh, we all got to share the views." And I thought, well, that's not the way it works. My understanding was each of them was going to be in a separate room, and then people would flip between cameras, but that never works because people are moving. People are moving here and there. How you doing, Cherry Cola? I'm just giving my honest, objective overview of it, of the events that went down, and I could tell. I think anybody that was viewing, if the person that bought those views, when I went back and looked at that, and I was looking at the effect that had, and I think that had exactly the desired effect that person wanted to have when they purchased the views, to cause divisiveness within that particular house. That's the thing that I'm talking about when I'm thinking about sabotage or something like that. What could be the motivation for that? The only motivation for that was to make a grand statement on one channel and then see the reaction that the other person had. Vegas Vixen, yeah, I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I have a crush on Norm F. The only motivation for that was to see the reaction that was going to occur on Mallory's face, and I'm just going to put it out there. So I didn't think that was that wasn't really a very nice thing to do, in my opinion. But it's YouTube. People do. It's their money. They're going to spend it like they want to spend it. Oh, I'm not getting high and mighty, Veronica. I'm just I'm expressing an honest, straightforward. I'm not getting high and mighty here, but I just think why would you spend that money to do that? That's my only question. Yeah, I didn't get that sense beforehand. And then I think at the end of it, when you put a little bit of drinking on top of the night, and anything that people kept inside of them, like Mallory's critique of dinner and things like that, alcohol tends to loosen the lips, and you'll put it out there, and if somebody's upset at you, they're gonna grab anything they can to take a whack at you with that. So yeah, critical thinking. So I don't know. I didn't eat the dinner. Saw the picture on Instagram. It looked pretty nice. Yeah, there were children there. Now I'm not gonna give D a pass. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen at the round table? I'm not gonna get D kind of went to the dark side in there, and I think, let's be honest, I've had a drinking problem in the past before. That's why on my whole 47-day journey, I think I had a grand total of about, once I left Las Vegas, I had about 4 beers the rest of the time. Why? because I binge drink sometimes. And I think Dee was the same way. You drink a little bit, you stew a little bit, you think about things a little bit, and then boom, the match gets thrown about maybe I should go smack him upside his head. And he just, you know, you get enraged. Yeah, well, because we're not triggered. I mean, Spanky Ham, one advantage, I'm 61 years old. I'm beyond giving a fuck about, I'm here totally for fun. And when somebody, thank you, Cherry Cola, and when somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I want to meet you. Can you help me grow my channel and stuff?" I say, "Hey, you're a fun guy to hang out with. Let's have a blast." I applaud I applaud success on YouTube. I really do. I like it when people succeed. Thank you, Scotty London. Some people have issue. I wasn't there, but I did take the time. I have just some other notations I made, but there's no sense gilding the lily. Yeah, I think D reaches a point, Murphy's law, where everything goes up. They were fighting words. They were fighting words, but I don't believe, honestly, I don't believe that Mallory ever believed in a million years that they would have that effect on D. I think she underestimated how upset he was about, for Mallory, as I said, Mallory, things tend to be very black or white. You're either in the Mallory camp or just pack your bag and move off. She doesn't worry, um, doesn't put much time into manicuring that great middle ground of people that are in transit between liking, disliking, liking. I think that she makes uh, pretty quick decisions about that. Well, that's what I'm saying, Mallory. I don't think that you'd never seen D upset. But I'll tell you, when I was in Las Vegas, and I'm going to tell you the kind of guy that D is. When I was in Las Vegas, that first night when I was back, and he was staying at the hostel, and it was pouring rain, and I got in trouble with a couple from Alabama, a couple of crackheads downtown, and we were goofing around, and I was starting to get mauled a little bit and groped a little bit. D got out of his warm bed at the hostel in the rain in a t-shirt on a cool damp night in Las Vegas and hustled down about 10 to 15 blocks. I don't even know how he did it. And I turn around and there he is right there by my side and imposing, just putting himself between me and those people and just saying, "Back off." Now, we all know that night, we all know it happened. That told me a lot about, D, because God knows would have happened if he hadn't have been down there that night. So as for the future, what's my stake in this? My stake is this. I've known Randy and Vegas Vixen for years, since, as I say, 2014 and 2015, in person many times, spring in Las Vegas, fall and winter in Las Vegas. I care a lot about them, and I thought this potentially would ruin their vacation, but Rory's got a lot of bounce to the ounce, and she can still come up smiling in these she can still come up smiling in these situations. So number one, I was worried for Randy. Randy had very low heart function a year and a half ago. This guy could have been on his way out, and I was very worried that he was awoken at 4:30 in the morning in Florida and had to deal with that. So I got a hold of Vegas Vixen today before she surfaced and went public, and just to make sure that Randy was okay, because Randy is a really cool guy. He's a nice guy. He's a great conversationalist. He's got a great sense of humor, and he's also very easygoing. I mean, this guy will turn over the keys to his home. He put Dee up in his home for weeks out there. Okay. Number two, I've known Dee for a while, and I look forward, as Dee does, to our chooching together when we're in places like Las Vegas, and hopefully other places in the country too. We got a good chemistry. One of the things that I think makes the chemistry kind of unique is that I'm not, although I have fun on YouTube, I'm all about other people succeeding too. And here's a guy that doesn't have a hell of a lot in life, and I'm trying to showcase him and put videos of him, like Easy Rider with his, with his Honda, because I care about the guy. I want him to succeed. I want him to have subs. I love it when people when people give him the support, because he's pursuing his dream, and a lot of the information that's put out about him is just false. So I think we get along, because I'm not a jealous person by nature. Okay. I applaud success, and I'm happy, when he gets the support, because he's trying to make his way in life, and what he gets, he shares tremendously with his family. He feels a tremendous debt to his folks at home, and that's always weighing on his mind. And when I'm leaving, well, Rosie, I can't go. I mean, I can't leave yet. I got to reframe 2 windows on the house, and I got to help clean up this and do that. I mean, family is first and foremost in his mind when he's thinking about things. So I do enjoy chooching with him, and I think that's why we get along so good, because I can give him a pat on the back and say, man, that's an amazing job I'm so happy. We get people like Cobra John, or you have people like Monique, and Goldie Khan, and all these people that have been so tremendously supportive. Randy is Vegas Vixen's husband. Pulling knives, absolutely. Look, fumbling with knives, like I said, I'm not giving Dee a pass on that. Okay, I'm not giving a pass on that, but I will say, okay, number one, alcohol tends to be the devil in those situations, and most crimes of violence, as we know, usually involve harder core drugs and alcohol as a stimulus. You couple that with a volatile situation, with the stuff about juice, and with stuff about potential sabotage, and you have a recipe for an explosion. And I thank goodness that Randy was there. He defused the situation, popped them both out of popped Dee out of the house, and just let Mallory get on her way. But I will give Mallory a lot of credit for coming to the streaming house and presenting herself, and being a presence in that streaming house. I'm going to be honest about that. I thought that she, a lot of people won't come into those unstructured situations and present themselves, and she did. And Mallory has a core of people that really like Mallory, and a lot of us are in that. I've been friendly with her. I text her some days when I think she's had a rough day. I'll say, I'm just sending you a hug or something. Like, I'm going to be honest. Okay, I try to pick people up when they're down, no matter who they are, and I don't think she thinks less of me for coming out and having my opinion. But she has an over-the-top style that doesn't go down well with everybody, and I think but she doesn't try to back off from it. She doesn't try to remold herself. She just says, here I am. Be a lover, be a hater, but just declare yourself. So, how you doing, Kat? Said many times in the wrong and everyone is way over the top. Yeah, you like that, D. I'm not. I'm saying, look, man, you own your shit. Okay, you've always been a person to own your shit. As long as I've known you, you've told me, and I'm no judge. I'm just saying, look, man, you know it. That alcohol, we've had to talk before. You've told me before when I'm out of line about stuff. I mean, we talk to each other, and I give you credit for that. Hey, Corey. Well, Mallory, Greg Mallory is one of those people that is going to command attention for plus or minus. Yeah, kiss and make up. Yeah, Monique, you're wonderful. Yeah, I think like I say, there's things that at the end, cumulatively, you can't excuse, but if it's been apologized for, then you hope the apology suggests accepted and you move on. We're talking about basically 4:30 a.m. floating on a Jim Beam lake. Yeah, I don't know, one man, but it was something, I mean, look, as far as name calling is concerned, when the shit hits the fan, people are going to grab for their heaviest weapon, okay? Misgendering, calling a man, calling a woman a pussy, the C word, that kind of stuff, fairy and all that. They're going to grab for the lowest, they're going to grab for the, I get that. I get that. I get that. Yeah, floating on a Jim Beam lake. That's what I call it. That's what I call it. And thank you, Bully, for being in here tonight. Yeah, the name calling, yada yada. I kind of call that Eve and Steven. But please don't call D transphobic or things like that. He has a long history of of involvement on a family and a friend level. And I think he's not that at all. He's a person. It's the furthest thing from that. But in the heat of the moment, things are gonna go crazy. Yeah, he's far from. He's not. He's not. People just get mad, and they're just gonna misgender. I'm hoping to meet D on the 18th. That's my stake in it. I woke up this morning and thought, oh, well, I'm going to be soloing down to Naked City in Vegas. This is going to be interesting, or going down on the strip by myself or downtown, through all the haunted back streets of Las Vegas. This is going to be cool. Okay. I mean, I got real selfish. I got really, really selfish for a minute, and I'm thinking, holy shit, I've lost my chooch and buddy here. We're gonna be meeting hopefully on the 18th, and I'll be honest, I would like to, when I'm coming to Florida, I would like to eventually meet Mallory over there and go eyeball to eyeball with her. And I love you, Andrea W. No, I don't think there's anything that I stand what I was saying. I've taken a very middle ground. Thank you, Sun Dancer. I've taken a very middle ground on there. I don't know where D is. He's in an undisclosed location. Yeah, don't forget to pay. Yeah, don't drink. Bosco, I've never really got ripped drunk in Las Vegas. I've gotten a little feeling happy, but I don't ever become, and I'm a person when I drink that's a very happy drunk. I don't, yeah. Not much more to say because people apologize for that. Sorry, I'm listening to her. Yeah, I think Dee's going to be fine. I think Mallory's going to be fine. They both have the ability to bounce from this thing. So, yeah. Trying to read the chat here. This town's hopping tonight. Yeah, I don't want to ever lose control of a situation. I mean, we have a good time. We do cheap eats and we just hang out. When I drink, I become too wonderful for words. My God, kitten cat, send me a picture. I can't imagine. I can't imagine kitten cats. I can't imagine kitten cat in a nice way. The night of the crackheads, you were drunk. Yeah, I guess I was pretty drunk that night. I guess I did. Um, I try to watch it a lot more now. I don't drink. I do have my nighttime cigar now, so without any further ado. Liberty, it's nice to see you tonight. Yeah, love to see me tipsy. What I got to be careful of is the heat in Las Vegas because I tend to dehydrate, and it's going to be about 115 degrees down there. It'll probably be 106, 107. No, because I don't. No, it doesn't hurt me. I just, I have a few a day, and that's it. It's called my retirement package. Hey, Charles. Missy Jenn's like, as long as you don't bring that shit in the house, you can sit out there in the rain under an umbrella. Don't lose your keys. Can you imagine that, Spanky? Where are you going? Right now, I'm in Point Reyes Station. It's okay, D. Yeah, 107 hipster. So I got to. Nice to see your hipster having. I've got to make very sure to stay hydrated. When I went, there was another case. When I was in Salt Lake and I was dehydrated and starting to get delirious, who bailed me out? D went out of his way, paid $6 for a bottle of water for me to get hydrated. So, he's always had my back. Too hot for too damn hot. Well, we'll have some fun. Bikini up and get on the battlefield Vegas. Boom, 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 boom. The problem is I don't even smoke a whole cigar because I can't keep the damn thing lit. They just go out all the time. No, he put his channel on. You have a function on YouTube. It's called hide your channel that you can use to put down there. You can put your channel in suspense for a while. Nicole did that, and then it came back for 2 days. She's like, I lost all my subs. Your subs don't appear for a couple days after you bring it back. D, look, all you can do, it's like Mallory, you move forward, you talk about the experience, you enjoy, you'll look back at the good things that happened, and you'll start to forget. You're looking where all those cigar butts came from on my. I never put one out on your lawn, Smooth. Not one. I took them out to the street there and stuff. Look at Mr. X calling me out over here tonight. Aren't you supposed to be on duty in New Mexico now, Mr. X? Mr. X is he's another guy that gets smacked around on a lot on the channels, but in actual real life, he's an amazingly kind. Yeah, vaping. I don't know. I just picked it up a few months ago. I don't think at my advanced age it makes a hell of a lot of difference anymore. That's the beauty of being an old bat on YouTube. I'm on my way out, so it's time for the next generation to take over. D and Mallory, it's on you now. Gallup, New Mexico. Well, I don't think he really knows it down there. Cigars are a don't mess. Yeah, Mr. X is cool. I mean, having met him in person, IRC Bully is cool after he scared about a year off of my age with his bandana on it. Yeah, I might have. Sound like somebody's banging on my van. I thought it was maybe Billy Boy, but I think they arrested him tonight. Let's see. I lived in Vegas. You're lucky to see a bug. I seen one lizard and fly on the last time, maybe after. Hey, I'm telling you what, Mel. We were in last time in Las Vegas, and there were fucking roaches everywhere, man. And now they had a grasshopper infestation. Like, oh, he said I should shoot. See, he always wants to put me in the shittiest places. Dee and I sat our beer cans down. We went over to Twain and Swenson because Black Bigot said, you haven't done any chooching in Vegas till you go to the worst neighborhood of Vegas. Go over to Twain and Swenson. Well, we almost got our asses kicked at the liquor store. That's where we ran into Oprah Winfrey, but that all resolved well. We came back to pick up our beer cans. I almost drank a roach in it, man. There were roaches everywhere. I'm not going to talk about RV Davey. I already made it clear my thoughts on that to Marshall. I already made that. Yeah, we were over there, Tim. It wasn't as rough as some experiences. I mean, I want to tell you guys. Yeah, Oprah Winfrey. You have to go back to the Vegas chat called Twain and Swenson. Go look at the Salt Lake City chat on Temple Avenue North, and go look at the San Francisco chooch with Mr. Z. You want to see some areas of brutal confrontation. Those of you who were on the Salt Lake stream when we went past that crack motel that you had to go through a 6-foot like prison fence to get into the motel, and the chick started coming up in my grill and screaming and hollering down there. That's the big time, man. That's the major leagues. I don't know if any of y'all remember that. That was it. Yeah, Vegas was cool though. We have a good time. Mr. Z is cool. I'll tell you what, that was the time that I feared that we were gonna get it. Yeah, that was slumming, Kit and Kat. Let me tell you, man. We went all downtown and we came back. It's like, let's make a second pass. Oh shit. Oh shit. D, it's time to just evaluate it yourself and move on. You got a channel to build. You obviously have a very strong core of support. Yeah, Kat, I'm not going to get into the particulars of it because that's not particularly. Although I went through my experience with Music Man in 2015 for having him on my panel, the thing that this guy did to me was drag me for a month in June because I would not panel him up on my panel. Tribe and that crew is like, oh, put RV Davey up on you. He's a lonely guy and put him up on your panel. Well, I chose not to because his past was indistinguished to me, and then it later came to light. But the thing he did was drag me about that for a month. So that's why I don't. We all have a past. And I'm saying, he did his whatever he did on his plea and stuff, and I just thought, but it's unforgivable to drag me as if I was trolling him in there, claiming to troll him in there every day. That's the thing that really upset me. Yeah, what happens in Vegas never really stays there. That's exactly right. I got the great Mr. Z. Mr. Z, I'm looking forward to seeing you in Las Vegas. Poolside, baby. And Jay, how you doing, Jay? How you doing? I got to get my summer into high gear here, so Yeah, that's it, Mr. Z. Yeah, I don't think D's gonna leave. I don't think D's gonna leave YouTube. I think he's got a bright. He's got a good future on here, mainly because at the bottom of it all, he has a good heart, and that's the reason I enjoy hanging with him. He is a very protective person by nature, and there's been people, oh, you and D have a relationship. No, we're just friends. But he's a very protective person, which I like. He's not going to let, he's going to stand his ground. This guy's a big guy. Okay, this guy is a big guy. This guy's a wall, and he will. He's had his time in Detroit, and this guy's street tough. I'm pretty street tough too, but this guy's pretty street tough. And he's intervened a few times to say, you know what, we're out of here, and just takes control of the situation. Yeah, that you are, Monique. Yeah, I think so too, Vegas Barbie. So, like I say, if it was a strategy to divide and cause divisions and cause people to unsub, I mean, um, I know at the time that I was looking and viewing some of the videos, I saw Kathy Rebuilds was in on the stream, on Mallory's stream, and she said, I got to unsub because I like Cooper and Hooker, I think she said. So there was some people that moved across the chats and things. So yeah, I'm sure you did. I mean, Mallory, I mean, that's your objective, is to get the subs, and nothing pulls them in like drama. But at the end of the day, we are human beings, and we have to, when our head hits the pillow at night, we got to think about, the mark we left that day, in the world. And it's just like, you've always been straight up forward about what you're on YouTube about. So I've always given you credit for your honesty on that. You don't mince words. You put it out there exactly like you want to put it out there. And I think for me, oh, okay. All right, Kathy, I apologize. Okay. I'm not sure if it was you then. I think if somebody made a statement, I can't be here. What's going on, Jill? Good to see you, honey. I hope you're doing okay. And I just think people need to be treated a little more with kid gloves on YouTube. I think these are people with feelings, and I think people want to feel like they matter. Hey, Iowa girl, how are you? I think people want to feel appreciated for coming on your chat, because let's face it, there's a lot of other chats that people could be on. And I think it's quite an honor when somebody comes on your chat stream, whether they ever give you a dime or not. I think just being there is a good thing. Yeah, I guess the kids are okay. I don't, like I talked to Rory today. My first concern was her and Brandy. Carrie says, I agree. Think people need to be babied sometimes and treasured. Well, I think we all want to matter. We all want to feel like we're a cog, and we all want to feel like we're a cog in the wheel. Whether we're, let's face it, subscribers and viewers are the feed stock for the mill, right? I mean, that's what keeps things going. If you guys aren't here, then it's just crickets and dead air. Okay. This is why I don't smoke, because these things never stay lit. That would be my only advice. I've never given Mallory advice before, but if I was going to give one piece of advice, it would be the same piece of advice that I gave and continue to, good night, William. It's the same piece of advice that I try to consistently pound into Elvis's head. Although people like Norm F come along once in a while. I told him a story about Wrigley's chewing gum and the origins of Wrigley's, and people laughed at William Wrigley when he said, I'm going to make a chewing gum that's 5 cents a pack and I'm going to be a millionaire. And people laughed at him and they said, you're crazy. It's what happens on the basic level of your, your most average viewer, so to speak, that really is the building block of success. And if you treasure people, and if you're genuine, and you really care about making them feel good on your chat, I think you'll have much more success. Elvis has thrown it all in. It's like an all-in gamble on AdSense and views and all that. But at the end of it all, we kind of know what fate awaits for, the day the catastrophic head gasket blows or the drivetrain. We know what's coming. Will there be a reservoir of goodwill to fall back on? There certainly won't be a hole that I can fill. I can put new flooring down. I can build a bed in the back. But when it comes to the big 24-carat breakdown, it's pretty much game over at that point. Will there be a reservoir of goodwill? Will there be people that would step forward and say, hey, you know what? You've given me such pleasure being on the road and showing me the sights and being positive and uplifting to the chat. Will there be the people that step forward and say, here, I want to donate $100 towards a helping to get you into a camper van to keep the fun going? You and I both know. You and I both know that reservoir of goodwill will not be there. And let me tell you, there's some people out here with some dinero in the chat too. But I'll tell you, if you plot your life around that, and if you build your life and your YouTube career around that, you're gonna have a hard life. So I would say, be nicer to people, make people matter in your stream, and try to win people over, and try to show people the good side and thing. That's all I wanted to say on that score. Yeah, Kat, I hope you're doing okay. It's nice to see you. Yeah, respect, it all comes down to that. I really think it does. You either build a reservoir of goodwill, or you roll on a tide of negativity, and when push comes to shove, that really won't have the value for people. That's the advice I've given to Marshall. I don't think anybody wants anybody harmed on YouTube. Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping that they can just put it past them and move on. Like I said, that's the only piece of advice. No other advice I would ever give, because Mallory neither asked for my advice, or I'm just giving it as a friend, and just saying thank you, Pumpkin, or to just people matter a lot on YouTube. Let's see, Mallory gave the address and told the chat what to do. I don't know about that part of it. That part I didn't see. I just followed the actual stream, that 2 hour and thank you, Vicky, that 2 hour and 27-minute video, which was the real explosive part. So you know, I would say to Mallory, just like you've expressed your opinion, I've expressed mine tonight in a very respectful manner after observing things. I give you a lot of credit for going into a streaming house and, basically strutting your stuff and doing your thing in there. I'm very sorry that events took the turn that they did. I think for the most part, you had a good experience in there. For the most part, I think it was good. Exactly up until 38-minute and 20-second mark where you guys were discussing next year and going to the Bellagio and stuff. And then at 43:40, 5 minutes later, was dead air for the longest time, and there was Dee gesticulating and seemed to very, very lit in front of a muted camera out there. I guess we'll never know. I guess he raged or something like that. I'm not sure. But then after that, the hour after that, it went down the, that's when shit went south on there. So. Yeah, I'm not, I don't know about that part, Mallory. Although I don't think anybody would have sent anybody to the home because I think, let's face it, 99.99% of the people that are on YouTube draw the line and definitely don't do things when especially young kids are involved. I don't think, there would have ever been any, swatting that occurred there or anything like that. I think people have a lot of respect. Yes, I know it. I know it. That's funny. Sean says if I had known the address, I would have sent everybody steaks. Holy shit. Oh my God. And I got Vegas Barbie here. And, I've never seen Lindy. I don't have anything against Lindy at all. We both kind of do our own thing on YouTube. But I will say for Vegas Barbie was really a good night, Sherry B. Meeting Vegas Barbie, she was really very demure and very sweet, and she was fun to be around in Las Vegas. Obviously an attractive gal, and she was very very sweet, and I just think that it's sometimes tough to hear her knocked around a bit on there. So Katie, I don't need the fans tonight, honey. It's 59 degrees down here right now. I'm gonna be freezing my hiney off probably here tonight down in Point Reyes Station. That's what I love about it down here. It's boondocking paradise. Yeah, I'd like to have Dee cook a meal for me. That would be awesome. That would be great. I'd love that. I am in a place called Point Reyes, Reyes Station. Point Reyes Station. It is in Marin County, about 15 miles northwest of the Golden Gate Bridge. You know where that is? Yeah, it's a beautiful area. It's one of the richest counties in America. I dream of 59. Kathy Rebuilds, where do you live, honey? What area are you in? Yeah, I wish you could be here too, Vicky. It's a delightful little town. I have a good old-fashioned chooch coming up tomorrow. I'm not sure, Jinxie, when he's gonna put the I'm not sure when he's gonna put his channel live again. Yeah, Kim, Spanky. How you doing, Spanky? Yeah, the race is on to have the best stream house. Who will pull it off? Well, I think the kind of lesson I learned myself is Um, expect stream houses to have their ups and downs when people get together. Hey, Winky. Yeah, the area is very pretty around here. And shit's going to happen and it's going to be unavoidable. It's kind of the reason why I like to have. We could cuddle, Vicky. Don't tease me now. See, yeah, we could cuddle, all right. Yeah, I would probably have a 24-hour stream, you know. Yeah, well, could you imagine Monique there? Monique and I would be watching baseball, eating popcorn, and drinking beer down. Like, we'll take the family entertainment center. Y'all go cook and do whatever the hell you're doing down there. Where are you this cool? I'm down here in I'm just northwest of the Golden Gate Bridge in a place called Marin County. It's where Robin Williams lived. It's a very hoity-toity, very expensive place to live here. They don't allow any development at all. You rarely see a house being built here. There's no BART, there's no Bay Area rapid transportation. They don't want light rail coming through. They've checked things. I think that'd be a lot of fun, Monique. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to hit a sporting event with Monique. You better believe that. I want to see that girl screaming and hollering in the seats. I want to see Monique cursing at the opposition. You son of a. So down here, see, this is why these things never stay lit. Down here on the coast, it's always cool. It's always low humidity, and when the sun goes down and the marine layer overlays the area, it drops right down to 50s. Good night, Simon. Nice to see you, sweetie. Like I said, I would, if I was doing it, I would get Elvis and Mallory and Dee and me and Lindy and all these people together and have like a $5,000 prize. All right, take care, Mallory, and thanks for being a good sport and allowing me to express my opinion on here. I think that would be pretty cool. Backdoor Diva, boy, I haven't seen you in a couple years. Hey, Lucy Ball. Oh, and Lucy Ball, I just want to tell you, honey, you and I have always had a good rapport. Honey, I've never been on disability in my life. I'm 61 years of age, and I'm distinguished in this way. I never missed a day of school, and I never missed a day of work in my whole life. They don't give out disability for gender dysphoria and things like that. Okay, I worked for 46 years to get the small pension that I have from Sutter Medical Group here in California. Never missed a day. Always punched the clock. Never missed a day on YouTube since January 3rd of 2013. I put up a video every single morning without fail for coming up on 7 years in January. That's called punching the clock. I have very strong work ethics. I've never failed in my duties. Never failed in the things I was required to pay in life or anything. So I just wanted to put that out there because unfortunately I was on a chat stream where that lie was put out about me on there. So I just want to tell you I'm not that kind of person to be on that, and I own my own home free and clear. So more information. I'm familiar with Burlingame, but I don't know the hospital down there. I know the Sutter Medical Group. Hey, Jock, how are you? You can watch the I've been on about an hour and a half. You can check out the stream. Jock Blue, nice to see you. So I'm just putting that out there. Yeah, and if you're on disability, God love you, God keep you in good stead. You know what I mean? If you're on it and this is what it's designed for. Okay. Oh, you worked at that hospital. Okay. I got nothing against that. Okay, but I'm just saying when people put out that that somebody's on disability and they're not, they're trying to just belittle that person. I need a Class B camper, man. That's what the hell I need. I'm in my little tin can tonight, floating in Marin County. Is Lucy getting married? Huh? Is that what I'm hearing? The great Lucy Ball? The great Lucy Ball, I think, is very attractive myself. She's very, I hate this will come back and bite me in the ass. She's very fluffy looking, I don't know. Her camera always puts a little bit of the soft glow on her when I see her. Yeah, my happy place. That's it. Yeah, I haven't seen Yujiro in a long time. I think he was fed misinformation too, unfortunately, about things. And, I miss seeing him on my stream. We always got along real good. I had a dream of meeting him in Southern California. And then I think somebody polluted his mind about my streams and stuff. So we always got along great. There's always a lot of different. I know. I lost another lady out there. I did. Yeah. No, I like you. I'll always respect you, Jiro Hama, because he's a United States Marine first and foremost, and number two, he's always been nice to me. But I feel like he was under a lot of pressure to disengage. Oh, I've seen her home, man. I've seen the way that Lucy lives. We'd gotten along good. Oh, that's great, Yujiro. Nice to see you. Yeah, I got nothing but mad respect for this guy. This guy got lawn chair landing on a beach and basically got bent at a 90-degree angle and managed to put his life back together again. If you can't respect this guy on YouTube, you can't respect anybody. And the guts he exhibits and the pain he's gone through and the stories he's told about dealing with his pain and the pain management semper fi, Yujiro. This guy's always been like a personal hero to me on YouTube. And you all know the way I feel about the United States Marines. And number two, Joey D. I mean, I'm so lucky. I got Bobby, United States Army. You got the boss, United States Navy. You got Joey D, United States Air Force. I mean, we've got real quality people. What if there's an earthquake while in a van? What do? I pray. That's what I do, because Julie Army Mom, I'm about 2,500 feet east of the San Andreas Fault right here. Okay, so when the big bastard starts rolling, man, I'm going to be sliding into the ocean down there, and core of YouTube will be up there cheering on the beach. Yeah, pray. That's all you can do. I've walked down the San Andreas Fault. I ask you to go back and look at the Point Reyes station trips we've taken before down here. I go right down to the epicenter of the 06 Great San Francisco earthquake. Is about 6 miles south of here. It's a place called Olima. That's where it originated in 1906. You can actually see the fence that ran across land, that the earth shifted so much it moved, the fence broke and it shifted 14 feet. From running this way, it moved 14 feet away. That's how much the earth moved there, quake, shaking. We walked down the fault line. You can still feel tremors in the earth down there. I love Brussels sprouts, especially when they're cooked and then they have a little bit of a crisp on them, Monique, when they slightly char them in a frying pan. Ooh, it is terrifying, Julie, because the Rancho has sustained numerous earthquakes up there. In my life, I've gone through 5 earthquakes. The worst when I was in Taipei, Taiwan, in about 108-story building, and we just hung a pencil from the ceiling, and you could just see the pencil was hanging straight down like a pendulum, but the whole building was moving around it. That's when you pray to God that Chinese construction is okay. You know, when you think about all the contract cheaters and shit that payoffs for concrete quality that's shitty, and you're up there swaying. Yeah, I don't, Bosco. I'm not too much of a drinker these days. If I'm baking at home, yeah, it's very frightening. If I'm baking at home, then I'll drink. I never drink and drive ever, ever. Roasted Brussels sprouts and olive oil. Man, that is good, Ginger. You just hit the nail on the head. Do you have a favorite restaurant from your last trip? The most spanky, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you what. Bert's Pizza in Las Vegas, and I'm going to give credit to David Guns. And the only reason I didn't look up Guns was because I had Elvis in tow, and I thought it would be rude to split off and just meet Guns alone and leave Elvis hanging. But David Guns did a review on a place called Bert's Pizza in Chicago, and that pizza was incredible. That pizza was just it was in a world unto itself. That's a restaurant that really stuck out in my mind, was Bert's Pizza. You know what? You wait 40 minutes for that pizza to come out. Hey, Goldie Khan, I was giving you a shout out earlier tonight, honey. Why are you sad, sweetie? Why are you sad, honey? I like a happy Goldie. I like a happy Goldie. I don't mind long wait for food, just mean it was cooked. Man, this thing was really good. You know what? I'm going to tell you what, too, Spanky. Spanky Ham came up and stream sniped me in Alpine Gulch in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And hell of a nice guy. Really a sweetheart. Real cutie pie. Spanky Ham, we went over to, I don't know if you saw my review on the Twin Dragon Chinese restaurant. That was great. That was great. Yeah, Bert's was unbelievable. Yeah, the insane chef. You guys got to sub up his channel, man. This guy's like a magician. This guy is an incredible. Also, Kiwana's Kitchen, and yeah, the insane chef is amazing. Yeah, I think based on the Instagram that D posted, I think he did pretty darn good. Yeah, Spanky Ham, they have a Vietnamese cook at that restaurant that's been there 30 years at that Twin Dragon. This guy. I think we all probably drink a little bit, Bosco, but I've never seen him really drink on a channel. But he just is, you know, I'm not one that comments on a lot of stuff that I watch, but I do watch a lot of stuff. And he really throws it down. Vegas Vixen, what's going on, honey? Or should I say Vodka Vixen? Yeah, I love the insane chef. He's tremendous. He really puts it down. Yeah, that was an unbelievably good feed. And we tried to, I didn't get Spanky's phone number. You know, we didn't get it. I mean, and all the crap that went on with the lost keys. I forgot to get his phone number, so we couldn't connect again. We wanted him to come to dinner with us that night. So he was a very nice guy. He stood with me with the whole car incident and all that. So I want to tell you guys, it is so nice. You hitting the beach tomorrow, babe? It is so nice. Yeah, amazing kitchen. He cooks outdoors. Yeah, I think I've heard of that channel. Yeah, it's so nice when you go to a town and people come out and meet you, whether they're sniping you on a stream or asking you ahead of time to meet up like Alpine did. That was funny. Called him Downtown Cheyenne. Yeah, from YouTube. Yeah, Spanky was cool. He's like, man, I'm here, man. I turned around. He's like, whoa. He's like, I'm tired of typing. I'm just gonna come down and tell you guys about shit. And he walked around with us. He walked so much to help me try to find my keys and stuff. I mean, just another amazing person that makes life great on YouTube. Village food. Uh, yeah. Kat, are we going to see you in Vegas when we come in there? Are you? I don't even know where in the hell you are right now. Are you in an undisclosed secure bunker or what? I don't even know where in the hell Kat is. Are you at a secure bunker location? She's like, I can't disclose to you, Rosie. I have to send you the code to use on your code thing. Oh, well, you're still at the same place. He may be Chinese from Vietnam. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but he just at the Twin Dragon in Cheyenne, Joey D. He just did an amazing job. He just needed an amazing job. Yeah, I hope your kids don't need therapy, Vegas Vixen, you know. I'm going to break out my orange soda. I'll be right back. Oh, they're going to give their opinions on the golf. That's cool. Yeah, they're good kids. Wow. My good friend found his son in a grain bin Friday, 19 years old. His name was Ben. Good night, Dagan. Thank you. Yeah, I know, Spanky. We'll get it together again. Why don't you drop me a line, Spanky, at icanmakeitlikenew@gmail.com, and I will forward your number to Alpine. She'd love to hang with you. I know that. Yeah, there's no place like the sands of the Gulf. That's why people say, Rosie, why don't you go to your beach there in Sonoma County? If you've ever seen the videos of the beach down here, man, it's all rocks and great white sharks out there, 20, 22, 25 feet long. Holy shit. You don't think Rosie make a hell of a nice snack for a shark floating out there? Man, I'll be tasty as hell. A little bit of silicone and a lot of meat, man, going down there. Plus the water is about 50 degrees year round. Yeah, Rosie cuisine, that's it. I know, Rosie the minnow. It's like, oh man. My last memory on Earth, it's like, whoa. That fucking shark will probably spit me out. I remember you did, Cat. I remember when that came down. There's Silver Surfer. How you doing tonight, Silver Surfer? I hope Nightbot's not upset. I took moderating wrench away from Nightbot tonight. This wasn't a dono event tip night tonight. This was putting out opinions. Speaking of which, I think you kind of got a better view now, Cat. They knocked down a building. I thought they were going to put up Nightbot's good. I got Nightbot retrained. He did a great job. All of my interactive features are now working again. So when I'm in Las Vegas, we'll be able to chooch with full pop-up text to speech and all that stuff. Yeah, he's gonna take my tip money, right? They're gonna Nightbot, man. Anytime somebody posted in caps or something, they were getting whacked. Anytime somebody put more than one emoji on the screen, and man, did I get the hate mail overnight. I know, Julie. He was hysterical until he pissed off some, JK NoCal got fed up. How to change my YouTube name? Do you know what, Mel? On January 3rd, 2013, I set up my channel and I just put one name on there and I wouldn't even know how to change the damn. I think you go up to your gear wheel to your Google settings. And I think you're allowed to do it so many times. I don't know. I know, Katie, it was crazy. I ended up apologizing to everybody, but I straightened out Nightbot overnight, but I didn't want him in here using this event as a tipping event tonight, a money event. I just wanted to speak my piece without that. You think you have only 2 hellos from you, huh? Well, here comes your third one, Joseph. Hello. Yeah, I don't want JK NoCal rolling up on my property. I mean, JK NoCal, somebody said this guy looks like he could pound in nails with his head. I mean, I don't want to be on the wrong side of JK NoCal. Hey, Noodles, how you doing? Nice to see Joseph Harmon in the chat here tonight. Well, it's great boondocking weather tonight. I got to tell you guys, when I got to town and I'm like, why is this town? Yeah, he's sweet, Monique. You'd really like JK in person. When I rolled into this town and I'm like, why are they having a party? It's Tuesday night. What a weird night to have a party. Some towns will have like a night market or something, like a farmer's market on a Tuesday or Wednesday night, but then they're like, oh no, this is the United States' national night out tonight. I mean, they had fire department cooking hot dogs and hamburgers. They had a guy with oysters on the half shell, barbecued and raw, and they had a guy with a big block of blue cheese and Jarlsberg cheese. Unbelievable. Isn't it amazing? Insane Chef, I just lucked into that. Struck me odd for a Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday rave. I got some oysters. I helped myself 2 times. Each time I got 4 raw oysters and a barbecue oyster. It was great. They also had a block of real Marin County blue cheese here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Free food, man. I didn't have to pay. I haven't paid anything tonight. I got one I rarely eat ice cream or sweets, but they got a dairy in Petaluma that does a soft serve ice cream. It's nothing like the stuff you get at McDonald's. I mean, this was really creamy, and it was like, oh, I gotta have it. Even though I'm watching my weight, I'm like, what the hell I'm gonna have? Plus, I was eating at like 5 in the afternoon or something. Yeah, the market in Oceanside, that's a great place down there, Insane Chef. Uh, Blue Cheese used to wrap that as a kid. Yuck. I don't know. The intensity, it was ginger. It wasn't even a frozen custard. It was a true soft serve ice cream. I don't know. It was amazing. The butter fat content. I mean, you could call it real ice cream. It wasn't, you know, McDonald's doesn't call it ice cream. They call it, I don't know what they call it, something else. Good night. I have a crush on Norm F. I don't really know what it is. I don't know. I don't think D's going to jail anytime soon. Yeah, it was like a soft serve, but it was a really super high quality. Yeah, Darius says we have the best gelato place here. Anyway, to roll into town and the guy's like, help yourself. I was like, woo-wee. I couldn't put that camera down fast enough. Cute fire guys, firemen all over, cute cops, sheriffs, everything all over. Cute gals. Frozen custard, it's so much better than ice cream. Yeah, that's the only thing I missed it. Milwaukee had frozen custard and I never tried it. Never tried I never tried the custard in up there. Okay, take care, Ginger. Thanks for being on tonight, honey. Sorry if it was a little wild in here. I don't know where we topped out tonight. There were a lot of people in here. So thank you as usual for a wonderful job. It's not easy for my mods on here. They do a good job. I'm going to go about 9 more minutes or so and then wrap it up. Did you ever try the squeaky cheese curd? I did try cheese curds. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy it. Yeah, that video. I mean, that was short, Terry. I kept thinking, man, they're going to grab the food before I finish the video. Yeah, the mods are always fair. They're not here to treat me like some candy ass. They're here to just maintain the side chat. And they'll just ask Oda May. She'll give me a good beat down once in a while. These mods will tell it like it is. They have their own, my mods have their own. I try to stay off of it to let them do their own thing, but they have their own internal message board that they communicate. And let me tell you, when I was with Elvis on the Great Lakes Tour 2019, man, they were... you should see that message board. It's like, oh, God, here we go again. Rosie's Dunkin' Donuts with Marshall in the morning, and they're like, ah! The Nightbot's working great now, Katie. It's going to be a good addition for Chooching in Vegas, but the Streamlabs is, it's so hard to institute. They got to have Nightbot didn't meet the juice. You got to have a desktop unit, and quite frankly, sometimes when it's working, it's the best thing out there. When it's not working, it is it's the worst of the worst. Yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. Elvis was very like the Elvis I know in real life when on that trip. Just swallowed some bug here tonight. Flew in the window. I want to thank you. Yeah, the next leg is the Vegas adventure. It's going to be a lot of fun down there. I don't even know what's up with D now. I'm hoping somehow that he'll be down in Las Vegas, down around. I'll be coming down the 18th. I can promise you we'll have a week of good fun down there in Las Vegas. And then I think he's going to roll on to the Northwest. And I'm going to start, I think he's going to try to get money together for a van. I'm going to roll on down the coast towards San Diego, do a lot of beach boondocking and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Dee's here, chat. Yeah, I sucked up all that bug juice, man. I know they always get me when my mouth is open. So I want to thank, Mallory's not here, but thank you for listening tonight. And thank you, Dee, for letting me express my honest opinions on what went down at the stream house from just an objective person just watching from the side in review and not real time. You know, you're a stand-up guy, you put your apologies out there, and now the chips just fall where they may and on YouTube. So you know how that goes. Once again, thank you to my moderators. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now from Point Reyes Station in Marin County. It's a lot to look forward to coming up. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of pull chooching. I've got the new Galaxy S10. Kim, thank you. Thank you, Oda May. Good to see you, honey. And I want to thank you for all being on and let me run my flapper about, hey, WDF. How you doing? And after that, he's going to go to Yosemite National Park. So we'll be meeting up periodically and doing some chooches and stuff like that. He's always welcome to chooch with me. I think his priority should be to get a van. Then he can be really stealth and take his home with him. He doesn't have to worry about putting up a tent anywhere, and he can do his thing and live the life. There's nothing like taking your little home with you here. Every time I come into a town like Point Reyes, if you can even find a hotel, they have all the hoity-toity fancy little seaside things. You're at $200 to $300 a night for these places. Yeah, I don't take sides, D, but understand, man, I'm gonna have your back because you've had my back, and we have time and boots on the ground, and we have experience. We have experiences beyond YouTube and in real life, family experiences and other things that we both agreed before would be a good long-term bond for us. So anyway, to everybody, thank you very much for being here tonight. I know we had a busy stream. To my moderators, the great Oda May, Kim C, Jen, IRC Bully, and all the other ones on here that make it go on a daily with Ginger. Y'all be cool. Thank you very much. Mwah.